guys, hello. This is a video where I'm going to postulate the three piano pieces that I would recommend that are the best really for an amateur piano player to play. And they're the following. And it's good. It's like a triad because then you don't get bored or bogged down by doing the same pieces consecutively. I mean, if there were just two sets of pieces, it would be a bit more boring to do day after day. But these are like pieces you can play each day. They're big pieces, and so what they are is the first lot would be the two Beethoven sonatas, starting with the Pathetique and following it with the C sharp minor Moonlight Sonata, which comes so nicely after the C minor of the Pathetique, which is the third movement of the Pathetique. So those two sonatas, that takes roughly half an hour to play, and don't do the repeats of the Moonlight. So the key thing is not to do the repeats of the following pieces that I'm going to be saying. Don't do the repeats. There are no, I think, repeats in the Pathetique. Oh, well, there are actually. So don't do the repeats in the Pathetique. I mean, you can choose to, basically you got to kind of butcher the Pathetique slightly, so you're not doing the repeat there, which you should do. You shouldn't do any. You shouldn't miss out any repeats with Beethoven, obviously. But anyway, miss out the repeats in the Pathetique first movement, and if you consider there to be a repeat there, and I think some people don't. Okay, so anyway, don't do that repeat. That's the first lot. Those two sonatas. It takes half an hour, and then the second lot, the next day, you do the Schubert impromptus. The first set, the D899. It's the first set, Opus 90, which is so wonderful to play. And I would also recommend, if you don't want to get too, well, I'll tell you about that later. There's something you can do with that and the Pathetique Sonata actually to make them more doable. Do those four. That also takes half an hour. That's the second day's half hour of pieces. And then the third day, do the Klavierstücke D946 of Schubert. That's late Schubert. And who doesn't want to do late Schubert? And the thing is, you can do them because basically you do the Allegro assai, you do as kind of basically a andante, yeah, that kind of speed. A little bit faster than that, but not even Allegro. It sounds okay for that one, for the first Klavierstücke, which is so fast. It's impossible to do at that speed unless you're a virtuoso. And then the second one is eminently doable, especially without doing the repeats of the second one. Don't do any of the repeats of the first one either. And then the third one, I think I haven't finished it yet, but that seems doable, and there are no repeats in that. But the way to play that is to play the middle part of it, the slow part, really slow, super slow, basically. And in that way, you will have them all the same length, those three Klavierstücke. By not doing the repeats of the number ones and number two. That's right. And doing the middle section of number three really slow. And okay, so now coming back to the Pathetique and because there are no repeats basically to do in the impromptus, but in the D899. But what you can do, which will make it much more enjoyable, I think, when doing the Pathetique and that first set of impromptus, is to shorten them in the following way. Basically, you cut out the beginning of the Pathetique, all those big chords, and they come 3 times these big slow chords. I think it's got some marking like lento or something like that. But just miss them out and go straight into the allegro. Start there, and it's much more doable. Same with the first impromptu, the one in C minor. Forget the beginning bits and don't do those. Don't do that march with the don't even do the big opening a double octave on G. I just miss out all that and start again with the rippling. What would it be like? Andante, sort of rippling, lovely part. So start with that. Because otherwise it could be boring. There's no such problem with the clavier sticker because everything can be done without missing out slow bits. There are no slow bits basically, which can bog you down. And then if you miss them out for 3 days of the pathétique and by the way, with the Moonlight Sonata, miss out the repeats in the third movement, of course. I mean, you should never miss out repeats with Beethoven, but with my method, not to get bored or bogged down, miss them out as well. Anyway, so if you miss out the repeats in the pathétique and the first, and you miss out. And you not just miss out the repeats, but miss out the introduction. So miss out the introduction of the pathétique and of the first impromptu, D899 on the first 3 days of the week. Then the next 3 days you put them in, and then you can do in a circuit, so that the next time they come around you miss them out again. Otherwise, you might get a bit too bored of it, and it might bog you down. And also, of course, it's really refreshing to alternate doing them and not doing them. But I would say always miss out the repeats if there are any, and I would say miss out the connecting parts in the D946 numbers 1 and number 2, because you have to miss out a few bars. And I was always dead against that, but now I see that if you want to make progress, then you should do that. And what you'll find, I think, is that they all kind of, doing it this way, actually, the D946 goes from being the most difficult set to being the easiest, because it's the shortest, and it's sort of, it's almost more enjoyable. But of course, the most enjoyable, I think the most enjoyable of these pieces I've just said are the impromptus of Schubert, especially if you miss out the opening of the number 1 impromptu, which is such a beast of an impromptu, really, but it's such a pleasure to play without the opening bits. And then you put them in, as I say. Next time round you do it. So there we go. Hopefully that's helped you to find a great triad of half-hour pieces. And then you can do lots of other pieces around them, but keep them as a morning thing. Have a warm-up. I think I've shown my warm-up. In fact, should I show it now? I think I'll show it now. My warm-up. The warm-up you should have, I think it should also be something which is well established. What I would suggest is doing the following pieces. Come with me. And I'll show you. So, these are sort of, again, this is like in a triad in a way, 3 pieces separated by Beethoven's Opus 126, number 3, the middle of the sort of near the beginning stroke middle of that one, just the arpeggios. So anyway, here are these 3. This is my warm-up. That's what I'd recommend. I'll do this in the morning, and then do one of the 3 pieces, one of the 3 big half-hour things that I've just spoken about. So, and here's a warm up. See if you can see. Put it. You probably might be able to see it now, won't you? Unless. Okay, hang on. All is not lost. All is not lost. No, all is lost. This has come undone. That's annoying, isn't it? Well, hang on. Maybe not. All is not lost. There we go. We'll balance it on top of that. Hopefully. Yeah. So this is a good warm up to do. Yeah, so I mucked up the Rachmaninoff third concerto bit, but it's very easy, and I just need to get that learned again. But that's a nice warm up. If it's amenable to you to do such a thing, then please do so. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you next piano thing. Bye bye. Bye bye.